Thank you for joining me again, everybody. My name is Renee, and this is Highly Motivated, a channel where we check out different things that I find interesting, and hopefully you will too. Today, we're going to be judging whether or not these people are the a-hole. Let's get right into it. Am I the a-hole for calling my brother-in-law out for subscribing to my corn account? Oh, this one's juicy. All right, burner account for obvious reasons. If any clarification is needed, I will try to be responsive in the comments. I, 29 female, have been married to my sweet husband, 33 male, for 2 years, and we've been together for 7 years in total. While my husband is not, his family is very conservative Christian. They are nice people outside of their beliefs, but he doesn't have much contact with them. Anyways, about 5 years ago, I started making certain kinds of content and certain kinds of platforms that do not line up with my in-laws' values. I would say OF. I make good money and my husband and I live comfortably. My husband is completely supportive, but we don't tell his family what I do because he didn't want them to know. They thought that I still worked in insurance. Also, I keep my personal social media separate from the accounts that I make porn with, though it's not impossible to connect the two. Not too long ago, an account using my brother-in-law's name, Eric, and a username that he has on many of his other social media accounts, paid to subscribe to me on the site that I use to post adult content. I only noticed because I recognized the username when he liked a video that I posted. I told my husband about this, and we decided to block the account. It was obviously him. I like that she was immediately honest. I don't like that her husband is okay with what she's doing, but that's not the point of this. So we went out for dinner with my husband's family, including Eric, his wife, and his newborn son, for Mother's Day yesterday. It was a nice get-together initially, but then Eric kept asking me how work was going and kept asking for super specific details. He wouldn't leave me alone, to the point that my father-in-law noticed and cracked a joke about it. I'm still not sure what the point of asking me about work was exactly. To make me lie? To embarrass me? To make me confess what I do and shock everyone? He had a look like he was trying to provoke me. Anyways, I lost my patience at one BS question he had and said, "You seem like you really want everyone to know that I make corn." He started laughing and said he didn't know what I meant by that. I said that he had been fixating on what I do for work all night and that it was starting to piss me off because I had just had to block him and refund his money on the site he subscribed to. Anyways, my husband and I left early. My in-laws clearly don't approve of me now, and Eric and his wife were furious. Eric said that his family doesn't want to be around both my husband and myself until I apologize to him and his wife for wrongly accusing him of watching that filth. The thing is, I 100% believe that it was him, and I don't think it's right that he tried to bully me over something that has nothing to do with him. I want to stand my ground on this, but I also feel bad because my husband is unwillingly in the middle. Wow. Well, let's see what Reddit had to say, and then I will let you know my thoughts. We have William Helicopter. He said it was 100% him. He was definitely trying to provoke you or let you know he knew that what you were doing. You'll be better off without him in your life, NTA, not the a-hole. Or worse, he was trying to set you up to blackmail you in the future. I assume he's not stupid enough to think the OP would have identified him by the same handle he uses on all social media. Much more likely that his pointed comments about her work were intentional after she blocked him, hoping that if she feared being found out, he would be able to coerce her into letting him access her content again or worse. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Jeez. All right, here we go. This is a good one. Send wife and in-laws a screenshot of the comment he made and the screen name. Ask them if it wasn't him, then why did he just happen to focus on your work? Ask them how often they remember him asking about your work. Oh, you refunded his payment. Is there anything on there to show what it was? I'm sure it doesn't show up as corn, probably some vague, easily dismissible name. Tell the wife what the return charge will look like and then block him. NTA, he was trying to blackmail you. If they can't deal with it, then that's their issue. Yeah, maybe he was upset that she blocked his account. Let's see. Totally agree. I think this guy is dangerous to have in the OP's life. Good riddance to him. He wanted to perv over his sister-in-law behind his wife's back, got pissed that he was blocked, and then wanted to make it known that he has the power because he had this information about her job, NTA. Bingo! that last comment hit the nail on the head for me. I really believe that he thought that she was kind of just going to let him hang out there. Maybe he thought that she wasn't going to notice. But when she did notice and he realized he was blocked and refunded, I don't know if he thought he was going to make her uncomfortable, and to the point where she thought that he was going to tell everyone her business. I don't really know what it was, but that guy is bad news, bottom line. Let's move on. Am I the a-hole for embarrassing my cousin and getting us kicked out of a restaurant? I, female 25, don't have kids yet. I never really wanted them growing up, but I'll figure I'll eventually have kids in the future once I get my life together. My cousin Sarah has 2 bad behaved kids from a previous relationship and a newborn baby with her boyfriend, MJ, 40. Last night, my mother, sister Sarah, and I went to a sushi restaurant. This was my first time having sushi. After we ordered, I had a hard time using the chopsticks. My cousin started obnoxiously laughing. The waiter came over and asked me if I wanted training wheels, which is a little plastic item that attaches to the chopsticks and helps you hold them in place. My cousin laughed and said, "Sorry about her. She constantly embarrasses herself and us." I just gave her the side eye and put the training wheels on. When it was time to order desserts, her boyfriend MJ finally joined us, claiming that he was busy. She went on to tell him how stupid and slow I was for not knowing how to use chopsticks, and how the waiters and everyone around now knew that I'm an embarrassment. My mom asked her what her problem was, and she goes on a rant about how I'm so embarrassing, and it's no wonder I'm jealous of her being a mother and no one wants to have kids with me. I finally had enough. I said, "I don't have kids because I don't want them to come out like you're rude pieces of shit. And you're calling me an embarrassment? Didn't MJ just have a baby on you with his wife? Your baby literally has a sibling a week apart from her. You probably learned how to use chopsticks by eating his wife's leftovers." Oh, I guess when she was attacking me, it was fine because everyone turned on me. It got so loud that management had to get involved. Sarah was screaming and crying. MJ was yelling at me, and my mom and sister were berating me for being mean. Management brought the bill and told us to please pay it and leave. My mom paid the entire bill, but my sister said I'm an a-hole for embarrassing Sarah and getting us kicked out, and how she's probably going through postpartum depression. Now, I don't know if I went too far, seeing as she's probably going through some post-baby stress. Am I the a-hole? All right, there's an update. So thank you all for the overwhelming responses. I have been wanting to put Sarah in her place for a while now, and I'm glad I did. However, Sarah's mom got involved and is mad at me. Apparently, MJ told Sarah that him and his wife were separating. Sarah found out that he lied because she secretly stalking his wife's Facebook page and got the shock of her life when wifey posted a newborn baby and MJ was there for the birth. Sarah did the math and realized that he's got both of them pregnant the week of his birthday. She confronted him and he confirmed it. He also said that she'll have to get over it or he'll leave. So she stayed and is now constantly in shambles. Not my problem. Now on to the problem. She kept the wife's baby a secret and only told her mom, who told my mom, who told my sister and I. So they said that they were pissed because I wasn't supposed to repeat it, but I didn't know it was classified information. No, they should have said something. After like a week, that's all everyone talked about. Sarah's mom, my aunt, reached out to me this morning, and she said that Sarah's problem with me is that I always said I don't like kids, and only a horrible person wouldn't like kids, and that I was mean to her about her kids 2 months ago. 2 months ago, she wanted to go to a party with MJ and asked me to watch her kids, all 3 of them, for free. I told her no because they're untrained. I don't feel comfortable watching a newborn, and she'll have to pay me to put up with the other 2. So I guess that's why she's still holding grudges. Regardless, Sarah's mom said she was having a really hard time after finding out about the outside baby, who technically is the inside baby, as Sarah's baby is the outside baby, but whatever. And she wants me to apologize for putting her business out there for everyone. She got my mom and sister involved, so I just called Sarah and apologized. She just said, "I don't care what you have to say," and hung up. Regardless, I held up my end of the bargain. Hopefully this gets blown over soon because your girl is tired. Well, let's read some of these comments because I don't think she's the a-hole. I think that homegirl has a lot of things going on in her life and was using this poor girl as her punching bag, and that's not right. And You probably learned how to use chopsticks by eating his wife's leftovers. You are my new spirit animal. NDA, not the a-hole. Exactly. That's like the comment of the year right there. I love it. All right, so let's see what else they've got to say over here on Reddit. One of my high school friends who attended the same college as I did was in an elevator and heard someone say, "That patoid. I wouldn't want to be on her bad side." My friend reported it to me as if I should be embarrassed. Instead, cherished that comment to this day. I'm not sure what a patoid is, but anyway, one more comment. Let's see. It's like people who mispronounce a word when they know what it means. It means they've only ever read it and never heard anyone say it loud before. They know what it means. Why make fun of them for that? Yeah, I agree with that. We deem that young lady not the a-hole. Let's move on to the next one. Here we have a bit of a doozy. We have a mother-in-law who has seriously overstepped her boundaries. Am I the a-hole for telling my mother-in-law that she's not allowed to meet our kids anymore? Okay. Using a burner account and fake names. My husband and I have 5 female and 8 male children. After a very traumatic birth with my elder one, I decided that I'm not ready to go through that again. But we still wanted more children. So 5 years ago, we adopted. My mother-in-law cares for our family, but she makes her preference for Malcolm is more than clear. To begin, she was absolutely furious hearing that I would not be having another biological child and was instantly disapproving. After hearing we were going to adopt a child, her anger turned into rage. She screamed about how we didn't know the parentage of the child and might end up bringing in someone who would disgrace her lineage. Her lineage. Right away, we've got a selfish old woman. And I'm telling you, the generation of boomer women they were the original feminists, really, right? Okay, I'm going to keep going. My husband was able to calm her down. Thankfully, when she saw little Julia, it seemed like this was all behind us. Yesterday, mother-in-law decided to visit us. My husband was away on a trip, so she was just helping around. I was absolutely exhausted, so I asked if I could go down for a nap, and she was more than agreeing. After a few hours, she woke me up and informed me that she was about to leave. All was good. I was cooking in the kitchen, and all of a sudden, I hear a loud bang, preceded with a crying Julia. When I rush into the hall, and I see Malcolm towering over her. "You're not real. All of this is mine," he started screaming, which was incredibly confusing to say the least. After calming them down, I asked Malcolm what he meant. He then revealed that Grandma Muriel had told him that he was Mommy and Daddy's real son. This made me incredibly mad. I asked him what else Grandma told him, and he told me all about how she had been telling him that Julia wasn't really his sister and how he should be extra attention for being extra special, how he's always going to be Grandma's favorite grandson, and so much more. What a vile woman. Blinded with rage, I blocked Muriel on everything after sending her a text detailing her actions and how this was absolutely unacceptable and how she'd never be seeing her grandkids until they're much older and understand the situation so they wouldn't be swayed by her words. I probably overreacted, to be fair. She is quite an old lady. After he returned, we got into quite the argument. To say the least, my husband disagreed. He adores his mother and told me that stopping her from seeing the kids is inhumane. She's simply old-fashioned, and she didn't know her words would bring this big of an impact or some such. We will be having a civil discussion about this later. Edit. I'm sorry I didn't clarify this earlier, but both Julia and Malcolm know that she is adopted. I've had the conversation with both the children, although I've had it separately with both of them. I think I might have to have this conversation once again and make sure Julia knows that it doesn't matter whether she's adopted or not. Wow. That's a doozy. Now, I agree. I think that there's no way that mother-in-law should be allowed to spend time alone with those children for the time being, until further notice, really. She needs to apologize, and she also needs to have a conversation with that little boy and let him know that everything that she said to him was incorrect. And then, and only then, I think that she can be allowed to be around the kids again. I don't think that there should be zero consequences. Let's see what Reddit had to say about it. All right, No Importance 659 says, I need you to understand this. Your daughter or your husband is saying that he will let his mother abuse your daughter. You have a serious problem in your family And you need to get into counseling to fix it immediately before he ruins this young girl's life. And you need to prepare for the fact that your husband may never really love or protect his adopted daughter, and you will have to be the one who protects her from both of them. I can say from experience that having a stepfather who does not show you the same love that he shows his kids can be extremely damaging. And I'm assuming that having a grandmother, a step grandmother, I guess it would be, that acts that way, it would be just as damaging. Let's see. My God, I was horrified when I read that the husband disagreed with her decision because he adores his mom. Yeah, I was too. The OP should have their son tell his dad exactly what Grandmommy Dearest said and then ask, so you're okay with your mom saying these things about your daughter? Is that what you're telling me? That our daughter deserves to be told she isn't as worthy of our love because she's not our biological child? Are you telling me that you love your mom more than Julia? Because that's the only takeaway from you wanting your mother around after the horrible things she said. Boom. And if he still wants mom around, divorce him. The end, your child's welfare is more important than saving a marriage with a man who would allow his mom to abuse his child. Now, I don't really advocate for divorce, but this can't just be blown over. Something has to happen. There has to be a conversation. Maybe there should be some counseling. Maybe there should be some counseling that also includes the mother-in-law. Let's move forward. That was a good one. In this next one, we have a little sister who feels taken advantage of by her family. And let's see if we think she's the a-hole or not. Am I the a-hole for leaving my brother's kids and hanging out with my boyfriend? All right. My brother Derek is 27 and has been married to his wife Sophie, not real names, for 26 for 2 years, and they have 2 kids, 4-year-old male and 6-month-old female. They never really had much money, and recently they had to move back in with my parents. I also live with my parents and just finished my first year at community college. I'm a 19-year-old female. When my siblings moved out, my parents gave me the master bedroom. But when Derek and Sophie moved in, I moved to a smaller room and they got the master bedroom. None of it bothered me because they were going through a hard time. But Sophie gave me a schedule and saying this is the children's daily routine. I asked her what she meant, and she said it's for when she's at work. Okay. I told Sophie that I'm not going to watch her kids, and I never said that I was. My mom told me that she meant to talk to me about it, and basically because class is over and my parents work full-time, that I should watch their kids. If Derek or Sophie asked me, I would have said no because I work part-time in the evening and I'm really stressed, but they could have at least asked instead of just assuming that I would. Agreed. Yesterday, Sophie thanked me for watching her kids and left before I could say anything. Passive aggressive. So I called my best friend and told her that my brother would pay her when he got home. I spent the entire day with my boyfriend, and I got a call from my brother yelling at me saying that I put his kids in danger. My friend is getting an early childhood education degree, does babysitting regularly, and she's great with kids. When I got home, Derek and Sophie yelling at me, saying that they couldn't afford a babysitter and that I'm selfish. I knew that if I just watched the kids, they would do that all summer. My dad agrees with me, but my mom says that I could have just watched them. I would like everyone to know that my friend was paid. I would never ever let her go unpaid, but my brother did not have the extra money to spare. My friend also knew a little before I left the kids with her and knows everything now. My mother is big into gender roles and hates my dad and me for going away from that after my sister's mental breakdown. My brother made a bunch of investments and is in a lot of debt. I told Sophie that she could put them in daycare, but she didn't want to do it because it would corrupt them. Also, my friend charged him $35. Would have been more, but because I'm her friend, she gave them a discount. Edit, I did this post in a rush while I was mad, and I'm also new to Reddit, and I wanted to get the lingo right. Okay. So, wow, I mean, that seems like quite a bit of overstepping. I definitely don't think that it's right that they assumed that she was going to do it. No one spoke to her. They volunteered her services. She's a 19-year-old female. Yes, that is her family, but she does not have to do it. She did not make the decisions that caused her brother to have to move back into the house, to have the financial difficulties that he had. And if she wants to help, she can. But she's not required to by any means. And For them to just assume and for her to passive aggressively just walk out the door and be like, oh, thanks for watching the kids, I'll see you later, that is showing zero respect and is not respecting your boundaries or even giving you the chance to say no. It's literally putting you on the spot. And it's always funny how family, they're supposed to treat you the best, but then they also expect the most and then somehow don't treat you the best. It's weird. It seems like they will take the most advantage. This next one, we have a individual who was on an airplane and asked a couple if they would stop changing their baby's diaper. Let's get into it. Are they the a-hole or not? Am I the a-hole for asking a couple to stop changing their baby's diaper in the middle of a plane? I, 28 female, was on a flight for several hours today, seated behind a couple with a baby. I'm a really nauseous flyer, so I took a Dramamine ahead of time and did my best to get some sleep during the flight. This didn't happen because of the baby's crying, but oh well. I know flights are scary and stressful for infants, and there was nothing anyone could do about that. What got to me was the couple changing their baby's extremely stinky number 2 diaper in the middle of their seats using the mom's food tray as a changing table. We were at the back of the plane right by the bathrooms, which I confirmed had baby changing tables, when I had to go back there to throw up after the smell hit me. I didn't say anything the first time, but the second time I heard them go into the diaper bag a couple hours later, I asked if they could please go to the plane bathroom instead of exposing everyone on the plane to the smell. The mom went off on me and said I had no idea how stressful it is to travel with an infant, which is true. I don't have kids. The flight attendant at the back of the plane agreed with me and asked them to only use the bathrooms to change their baby. Plus, a few minutes later, the pilot made an announcement that all diaper changing needs to be done in the bathrooms, after which both parents looked extremely annoyed. Am I the a-hole for asking them to stop changing their baby in the middle of the plane and inadvertently bringing it to the attention of the flight crew? Absolutely not. I don't get why other people feel like they have the right to make other people uncomfortable in the name of their comfort. Like, you don't get to infringe on someone else's comfort for your comfort. It just doesn't make any sense. And if there's a baby changing table in the bathroom, just go use it. Like, why are you annoyed that you are asked to use the facilities that are provided for you? And then, if there was no baby changing table in the bathroom, you'd be the first one on there complaining that there was no changing table in the bathroom. So, some people you just cannot make happy. All right, everybody. Those were some Reddit Am I the A-hole posts. I want to thank you guys for joining me, and do me a favor, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow a community here. I'm new at this, but I appreciate every single one of you that shows me love. And until next time, stay highly motivated.